London Children's Aid is committed to working with Indigenous families in a very culturally respectful and least intrusive manner. We have the honor of working with Indigenous families who have local band involvement, as well as families from across Canada who are living in an urban environment. We really want to honor the commitments that were made at the provincial level. That includes reducing the number of Indigenous children in care, making sure that we can avoid court involvement if possible and work really cooperatively, and fast-tracking any requests that Indigenous families have to access their historical files if they're involved in the class action lawsuit. Our goal really is to support Indigenous leadership and their journey towards self-governance and autonomy, and to really partner together to keep families safe in our community.
Seaton is our child protection information system, and this is a change management enterprise system that we were fortunate enough to go live in November of last year. We were the 33rd agency to go live on Seaton. Seaton has been a large project for organization to take on, but an important one in the work that we do with our children and families. Seaton now allows us to have access to information at the click of a few buttons. This is helpful for the children and families that we work with because we are able to have that information immediately, and it helps with our assessment and our work with families so that we are better aware of what supports we can implement with families. And in the end, this helps us keep children safer in our communities.
So it's really exciting that the agency has embarked and committed to having equity training for all staff from frontline, admin, right up to our executive director. And the purpose of that is to really address the overrepresentation of Black children and youth, and also overrepresentation of Indigenous children in care and them not having the same outcomes as other families. So with the equity training, it's really having people understand that they are the tool for the change that needs to happen. And despite the focus right now being on those particular populations because they are overrepresented, the same practice that's going to be put in place is really going to help outcomes for all families in all different walks of life that we're working with, regardless of their color, sexual orientation. It's really talking about coming from an anti-oppressive practice framework, and that's really where the agency is focusing on. So for the next year, we're going to have the entire staff go through so we can address that. And that's just one of the race equity practices from the One Vision, One Voice material that we're going to be focusing on.
This was an exciting year for our agency. As we recognize our 125th anniversary, we had the opportunity to reflect on the beginnings of child welfare in London. Our history reminds us of how much we have learned, the mistakes we have made, how much we have accomplished, and the importance of continuing to learn and grow. Much has changed over the course of 125 years, but what has remained consistent is our partnership with our community. Volunteers, foster and adoptive parents, donors, and support from community service providers has always been and will continue to be essential to the work that we do.
In 2018, Children's Aid Society of London and Middlesex created a youth response unit, which is comprised of 3 teams that deal primarily with youth in and out of the care of the society. We created this unit to work with high-risk youth in our community, as well as address the ministry's mandate of increased services to 16, 17-year-olds. We've partnered with community service providers such as Youth Opportunities Unlimited, London Family Court Clinic, University of Western Ontario to create programs specifically aimed at helping youth in our community address the high-risk environments that they live in.
At London CAS, we're an active part of the Situation Table. The Situation Table is a group of communities, agencies that meet once a week to talk about children, youth, and families who are at some level of acutely elevated risk. Partners at the table include the mental health sector, children's services, justice, police, addictions counseling, school board. There are almost 25 or 30 members at the table, and we meet to create effective, quick plans to help families in need.
So our family visiting program has integrated circle security parenting. It's a relationship-based intervention program, and it's designed to basically establish and enhance attachment relationships between children and their caregivers. The Circle Security program is designed to offer parents interventions, supports, opportunities that they require to successfully navigate their way to a secure relationship. So Circle Security Parenting supports participants in directing the way through their current risks in an effort to highlight changes that are necessary for reunification. And the program is basically in line with our family-based care practice.